when you mentioned your the recording session, it and how you thought the engineer or producer was pushing you too much, and you just said you
Yeah.
quit, and then you think about what you went through with Zach, and
Mm.
you experienced more than most mothers. I would say more than 90% of the mothers, and you still showed the resilience. So it's almost as if what you couldn't do then, it's almost as if you were able to. I just got that
Absolutely.
connection.
Absolutely. Like I never knew how strong I was until I went through that moment with Zach. I realized I'm way stronger than I thought. That's
Did
for
you
sure.
ever remember that 13-year-old you who just couldn't do
Oh
something?
yeah.
And
Oh
then you
yeah.
think about, wow, look at she never
Yeah.
knew how
Well,
strong.
first of all, I mean, I was pretty overconfident, I think, at the time.
Okay.
You know, I had won all these awards and I was like a local little star in my mind because I was doing like, you know, I was doing the local news, doing interviews on these local news stations and write-ups in like our little local newspaper. So, you know, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Oh gosh. And so when he got to pushing me, I'm just like, this is not what I signed up for.
Oh,
You know,
Jesus.
oh gosh, the things that we think we know. And I look back and I realize like that did nothing but help me, really. He was trying to strengthen parts of my voice that I had never tapped into. You know what I mean? And I look back now and I'm just like, wow, he's deceased now, rest in peace. But I remember him being really upset with me because he believed in me more than I believed in me.
Wow.
And I just, you know, I would see him around town and I would be like, hey, like I was through with him because I was just like, in my mind, he was just the mean freaking producer who was just like, didn't understand. Oh, woe is Meela. He just didn't understand. But I thank him. Gosh, I wish he was alive because I really would like to, you know, I don't know that I ever got to thank him before he passed, you know, and he knew about, you know, my success with 702. And I don't know that I ever got to just say thank you. So gosh, wherever you are, I hope, and I really hope and pray that he understands how, gosh, it was so humbling and it was just such a learning experience. And I'm really grateful for that moment. I really truly am, because I had no training, no proper training at all. Leading up to that point, because people ask me all the time, you know, did you take voice lessons? Or, and I'm like, no, it's just a natural, a gift from God, a natural given gift from God. But I don't say that I don't take vocal lessons. Oh, of course, we all should. I'm always a student. I'm never ever too arrogant or think I'm too good for studying or for learning. So we meaning me and the girls is 702. We always had vocal lessons. The label, we had them before, you know, the label put us in lessons, and of course the label puts you in them, and then, you know, you stay in them as an adult. You probably should stay in them. I mean, the best of the best are still vocally trained. But at 13, honey, I didn't need vocal lessons at 13 because I had never had vocal lessons, and I was like, what? I don't need vocal. God.
Yeah, I mean that's just amazing. The transformation,
and that's growth, right, for maturity.
Of that, yeah. But for somebody who always wanted to be a soloist and who strived at being a soloist, how much convincing did it take for you to join 702 then?
So it was definitely something that I wrestled with a little bit. My mom and I weren't 100% sure because, like you said, we were just so used to it always just being me. And I didn't know what that would feel like or look like, or, you know, I didn't know what experiences I would have coming into a group that was already formed, that was a family, you know, orchestrated group. Like I wasn't sure, I really didn't know. So it wasn't overnight, like, oh, absolutely, there's no brainer. Yeah, heck yeah. It wasn't that at all. But I did go and audition once they asked me to, and I kind of just was waiting it out to see, like, if I really wanted to, you know, if this is something I really wanted to move forward with. I just remember my mom and I both being a little iffy, just because like I said, it was foreign to us, you know, so we just weren't sure what it would look like. And I think my mom she's like, now that I'm a mom, I get it. She's just super overprotective and just super worried about me. And but of course, like I said, my mom is a woman of God. So of course, you know, the first thing we did was just like prayed about it. We went to pray, like, Lord, what should we do? That's all I remember. Like, she was like, we'll just pray about it.
Take it to Jesus.
Right, that's it. Yeah, take it to the Lord in prayer. So that's what we did. But I think ultimately, like, that's exciting. Like, they were signed to Motown. Like, of course, as a 17-year-old, I mean, even though I was a little apprehensive, I wasn't no fool. I definitely understood Motown, you know.
That was Michael Bivins. Did you know who he was?
Yeah, of course. That was one of my first, actually, my very first concert was New Edition. I was like 7. And I was a New Edition fan,
Wow,
and I was a BBD fan. Like, I knew every BBD song there was. Every, not just a single.
Doobie? As a 7-year-old?
I had the cassette tape. I was in middle school. I was in junior high. I was like 7th or 8th grade, and I played that album to death. Full circle. It's crazy how things happen. Full circle. Then years later, I'm like signing right to Michael Bivins. It's so weird. 510/Motown. So, but yeah, I was a fan already. But, you know, I just wasn't sure of my position. You know what I mean? I just didn't, like, again, I didn't know what to expect, but I did know, like, this could be a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
I had been approached as a solo artist from, like, I did so many talent shows that I definitely was approached by a few, like, little labels. I forget the name of that label. God, it's so old. You remember Domino? God, that guy Domino back in the day.
Oh yeah, Domino. Yes.
Right. I forget his song. Anyway, he had seen me and someone else, and they had labels, and but it, you know, I had not been approached by a label such as, you know, 15
because they had Boys to Men and ABC.
Right. And who else? I think, gosh, it was a few people before 702 and Subway. But anywho, like I said, they were already established, and so I just wasn't sure. But they chose me to go ahead and do the let's see, it felt like a boot camp. Go ahead and you know, train with them and see if I could blend with them, you know, lose a little weight, see if I could dance with them. So I had to go through like a series of tests, if you will, before I even made it to audition for Mike.
Yeah, I mean, and I do always wonder, because you know, it's one thing joining, getting into the industry. There's another thing joining an established group, because most of the people I've interviewed who formed a group together, you know, whether they were singing in high school and then let's come together. So you've come into a group that had 3 sisters and a friend. One sister has been told, you know, you can't make it, and vocally. So I don't know, all the sort of like, well, if she's coming, she better be good. And I don't know, and as I'm not thinking about that, but there's that type of pressure from the families and everything. And you know, and then we've seen you do a lot more of the lead singing. I mean, were you nervous? Were you afraid, or were you just too excited that you didn't even think about all of that? Or you just like, well, this is great.
It was all of that. And that's what I meant by, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what my position would be. I didn't know what it would look like for me. That's what I meant pretty much by all that, is because the way it, and you know, we were so young, and I'm sure there were several conversations had around me and the girls, you know, around like, not literally around us, like, that went around us, basically. Like, I'm sure there were so many conversations that we were not privy to, you know, and here we are in what, maybe 9th, I think Irish maybe in 9th grade, and me and Misha were like 11th grade. Like, we're 15 and 17 years old. And this, you know, these are big, huge money moves, you know. And, you know, I don't know what they told them versus what they told me. And looking back now as an adult, like, that's stressful for all of us, you know. What I was told was, you know, Mike wants to just kind of switch out the group to bring in some more lead singers or another lead singer to help out Misha, because at the time LeMisha was the strongest voice in the group, so she was deemed as the lead singer, and had done mostly all the lead beats, and I think she was doing most of the writing as well. But I guess he just kind of wanted someone, like I said, like it was verbalized to me, to help her share the load, if you will. And so that's where I came in. So to me, I just thought I was coming in to like split the difference, help her sing some of the songs.
Yeah,
I think that's what it started out as, or that's how it was articulated to me. Now, I don't know if that's I don't know what the story is, but that's what I was told. And so maybe she could have been told the same thing or not, but the thing is, it ended up being different because it went away from that. It ended up turning out to be different because I went from helping her to sing lead on songs to kind of just singing leads mostly on all the songs.
Yeah, I mean, and as I said, I mean,
and this was not my choice. Just so you know.
No. As I said,
this was just me coming in, doing my job, like sing the song anime.
Yeah,
press record. So that's what I was doing.
Yeah, and I think for us as fans, we only saw the videos and the tours, and we see the happy side. And since we've been doing halftime chats, I've spoken to over 70 artists, and we get to see that, wow, you guys were really put in really challenging situations,
really compromising, because absolutely, which leads to drama. And you wonder why groups tend to break up. It's always underlined negative history. It's always just some underlying backstories. It's always some underlying drama, underlying animosity. It happens. And then being so young, you don't even really get to grow up. You have to grow up together, be glued at the hip, go through adolescence and puberty or whatever we were going through, like under all this pressure. And you know what I'm saying? And all you can do is really what you are asked to do or instructed to do. I don't know how the music business goes. I'm 17, fresh out of Vegas from the church. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, okay, and I think these are things that my mom was concerned about. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't really know the business. She knows that I was green, she was green, and I'm a kid.
Yeah.
At the same time, so it was very, very stressful for all of us. But we made great music. But yeah, of course, there were times where it wasn't so fun, because I kind of by default became the lead singer. It definitely was uncomfortable a whole lot.
Hey everyone, I want to thank you for being part of Halftime Chats. This new update is really about our membership, and I'm really excited to be able to fully launch the membership page. There will be things like full interviews from day one. As soon as the interview drops, you get access to it without any ads on it. There'll be some exclusive member-only videos that will just be some behind-the-scenes stuff and some other things that we will never be broadcast. For some members, you can be able to get actually 2 interviews, because I do have a backlog of almost 7 or 8 interviews that I don't even know when I'm going to be able to broadcast them. So you're able to get at least some of those up front. And some just behind the scenes stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes that I have never been able to talk about or release. For everyone else, the videos will still be the same over a week or a week and a half or 2 weeks, depending on how long it is. So everything stays the same. The polls stay the same. The community chats, the community stuff stays the same. But I think with the membership stuff, I'm able to add a little bit more and invest a lot more time and energy in really supporting the members. So I do hope you come on that ride with me. I appreciate the support, and this will just help me continue to invest in taking things to the next level. Take care.